There.
We're welcoming them to the Stack.
Oh yeah, Stack Live. Well, we are live.
That's right.
Our
Yeah.
new location.
We're coming at you guys live
Stack HQ.
from the Stack HQ, aka the Stacked Plex, because that's the name of our Wi-Fi.
I'm coming back.
All right, Brandon's leaving, but yeah, we're starting this episode a bit differently because we're actually all in the same room, just like old times, like those few episodes.
Yeah.
Granted, we don't have the same recording software because Chris, you don't live with Tori anymore,
No.
so we can't steal all of our goodies. But we're doing it Sammy Stackhouse style. Oh yeah. Well, there's no way to plug it in because look, it's got. Oh wait, yep. Okay.
You gotta call.
Oh, there's no batteries in it.
Wait, so you needed? I thought the plug would just be enough.
Nope.
No?
Yes.
Wait, then what do you plug it in for then? No, that can't be right.
That can't be right.
There wouldn't be two.
Maybe because it's not
originally.
because it doesn't work on the.
No, it's not batteries in it.
I know it doesn't have batteries, but shouldn't it not have batteries if it's plugged in?
That's kind of weird.
That is
Anyway.
weird.
Anyways,
Anyway,
we're no one knows what we're talking about right now. It's friend of the show, my dear cousin Milo, got me a present for Christmas. It's an on-air light, and we were trying to turn it on, but I don't have batteries for it yet, I guess. And I guess you need batteries and you need to plug it in. Kind of stupid. Thanks, Milo. No, just kidding. Thank you, Milo, for the gift. Seriously, it's really cool. But we'll just have it right here with it off. Whatever.
it still says on air. That's the important part.
Yeah, because we are on air, live, all in the same room, here today, sharing another meal together.
Yeah.
This time, I'm not zoinked out of my mind eating garbage spaghetti. We're eating good food this time. I'm better food.
Better food.
We're not having a 5-star meal.
We gotta keep build. If we keep this up, we gotta keep building.
Yeah.
One day we're gonna get to a steakhouse.
We're gonna get to Nobu Sushi in downtown.
Do you think
LA,
our house is a step
$50
up?
rolls?
Our house is a step up from Sammy Stackhouse. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
I would say this is a step up from my garbage spaghetti from Pancake
This is
House.
definitely a step up from the chicken that I got.
Let's somebody film our food.
Okay.
Let's put this. I'll put this in the show.
I got it. Who wants to go first for show and tell?
Make you sure.
Let's have Brandon go last because his is the most asinine.
Make sure you have the.
Oh yeah, we can show the on air.
And
Okay, good. So here's the on air light that we tried to fix, but I guess we don't have any batteries for it. So I'll do a show and tell of my meal for today. Here I got a margarita pizza from Pizza Studio. You know, fresh sliced tomatoes, lots of good basil. I'm a sucker for basil, so I wanted a lot of it on there. And it's pretty good. Fresh crust. Chris, what do you got?
so I got a similar thing to Ethan, just different ingredients. I gotta customize my own pizza. It's got cheese, it's got garlic, pepperoni, bacon. Okay, and my weirdest part, corn.
Corn.
I'm telling you, corn on pizza. Everybody dogs on it, but it's really not too bad. A little kiss of sweetness in that rush of corn. Pretty good.
Never seen someone get corn pizza, but I'm curious.
You have a bite if you want.
Let's shift to Brandon and his monstrosity.
Brandon, explain what you have.
Well, I like something with a little bite, a little sauce, a little spice.
Yeah.
So what I do is I combine it all, and I'm a psycho for it apparently. So I got the Meatball Marinara Sub from Subway, and I always get pepper jack cheese. Don't toast it. The meatballs will do that for you. They're already hot. Then you got lettuce, onions, pickles, jalapenos, and for some reason olives. And Chipotle Southwest sauce gives it a little kick. And it's a lot of items, but it's a lot of vegetables. It'll keep you full, and it doesn't cost you anything to have.
And it's healthy.
Yeah,
a lot
it's
of
healthy.
veggies.
Only got it for $5 for the
$5
coupon.
too. You got a coupon.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm just surprised all that fits in a sandwich. But
The more
I
the
guess it
better.
works. Yeah.
And we got a lot of snacks.
A lot of
for
snacks because we're gonna have a little movie night later since it's a special occasion that Chris is here with us at our new apartment.
Bringing in the stack.
So we're gonna watch some movies, have some fun, have some drinks, But yeah,
Already started.
you might be wondering why. Oh yeah, Georgia's here as always. You might be wondering why we are we got food on the episode today. It's because our special topic is food movies. You can cut the.
Oh, okay. All right. Yeah, our topic today is food movies.
Food movies.
Who came up with this one?
I did.
Okay.
Because I was just like, if we're all getting dinner together, because we planned you coming over,
Yeah.
like
And we were like, why
and-
not
and-
combine these events?
yeah, because we like getting food together and recording this over a meal. Because the Stackhouse episode was fun to do, and I'm like, why don't we just theme it around the food
Yeah,
itself
just-
In our new house.
in our new house? Because our house is very.
But we've already
food-themed.
done house movies.
It's true. We can do apartment movies. No, I'm just kidding.
Is it just me, or are we starting to run out of ideas?
No, I don't
No,
think
I
so.
don't. I mean, I think our ideas are getting more creative, which leads
It's
to
getting more out there, I
interesting
will say that, that's true.
And I think that's what will get people listening. You know,
Mm.
we gotta do another decades episode. Speaking of not creative ideas, anyways,
We'll go back to that once we
yeah,
once
we'll
we
do that
have
later.
ideas.
Once we're
That's where we're pretty strapped for ideas.
yeah, when we're strapped for ideas, we'll, like the decades are
the
always
30s are back.
is 30s next.
I think it's 30s.
This
and
is when it
40s.
starts getting hard.
Yeah, that'll get hard. Anyways, food movies. What does it mean to be a food movie?
Well, I approached mine with 3 categories in mind. The first one is movies with delicious looking food, like just food that looks good in the movie. Simple as that. Second one, movies about the culinary arts as like a discipline or like
Yeah.
an art form. And lastly, movies with food as a vital plot element. There's a billion different ways a person could integrate food into a movie. I feel like so. A little hard to. This is a hard one to kind of distill, but I feel like that's kind of the fun of it. You know, everyone's gonna pitch in and like something to do with food. It doesn't matter what it is. So
Yeah.
that's kind of how I went about it.
You know, food has its own cuisines, which are basically like genres of food. You know, so this is a pretty broad topic that we're gonna. I hope we get to talk about a lot of different kinds of food, a lot of different cultures within food. You know,
Bingo.
Yeah, I wonder how diverse our like cultural like how diverse the kinds of food we're gonna pick are.
I know each one takes place in a different country in my list here, and all different kinds, styles of food too.
None of mine are American.
None of yours are
Well,
American?
like the food specifically isn't American.
Oh yeah, okay.
You, Brandon?
Well, you know, I wanted to do it so that there was a variety in which like food is prepared. You're not always having fast food, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So I wanted to separate it by meal.
Oh, I like that.
So I had one that was like more of a dinner. I had more that was considered a lunch. And I had a dessert option, not a breakfast.
No breakfast.
Breakfast, we don't get along. Breakfast and we're having a hard breakup.
Really,
right now.
not even good breakfast movies.
No, I don't.
The
think
Breakfast
so.
Club.
Well, but that's
It's not about
no
breakfast.
food in that movie.
There is food. Remember, she eats that disgusting sandwich with chips on it or something.
Not the breakfast food.
That's not breakfast food.
and it's also like different kinds of cuisine. Like it's very like maybe low cuisine
Mhm.
and something that is more high fashion.
Yeah,
I can't wait till we get to that one.
same.
Yeah. I want to shout out one film that we use for a final stack before we start. The Founder.
Oh,
I
dude,
thought about
I
using it.
thought about using it too. I was like, this is a great food movie.
Like,
But,
yeah,
alas.
alas, we chose that for origin stories, which I think is brilliant.
I would have chosen. I also might have chosen a. Maybe one of you guys did, but I would have chosen a Shinkai movie because all of the food in his movies
Oh.
look so delicious.
Any anime.
Any anime, to be honest.
I just found that there is an anime film. None of you guys have seen it, so it's not gonna be on this episode. But it's about food. It's called, what is it called?
Attack on Titan.
No, it's called Flavors of Youth. And I want to see it.
Food Wars, you mean?
Hot
Food
ones.
Boy. Hot Ones. Hot Ones is not in Letterboxd, so we will not be talking about this episode.
What if they got in there?
I hope so.
Okay.
But anyways, that's, yeah, food movies. We're going to have a fun time talking about foods while eating some food. Hopefully the chewing doesn't annoy anybody. I don't think it'll pick up on the mic. 'Cause
Personally, I like chewing.
It's part of the experience,
Yeah.
you know?
it's true.
It feels more tangible.
Yeah. So I guess trigger warning for anyone who is uncomfortable
Look,
with that.
Too late, man.
In Stack, we're all about social realism.
That's true. Grow up. You're going to hear chewing in your life. Yeah, you know? Grow up.
I believe somebody's gonna find this podcast one day. They're gonna binge watch all these episodes and they're gonna be like, "These guys are geniuses."
Yeah.
No,
Like the movie Super Baby Geniuses too.
no, super baby geniuses.
Terrible,
Geniuses,
terrible, but
baby,
nostalgic
too.
movie for me, that one.
Yeah.
Should we get into it?
Let's get into it. But of course, as always, let me run over the rules of the show after I finish chewing this pizza. Going back to chewing. Okay. Once a week, we set a topic or theme and go our separate ways to construct our own 3-film stack. Then after a week, we come back here on the podcast and share our own stacks 1 film at a time. Then at the end of the show, we'll mix and match 9 films, make the ultimate decision what quintessential 3-film stack we're checking out in this hypothetical video store. All right, I'm going first.
Okay.
I did mine in order of the importance of the food.
Okay.
You weird.
So I'm starting with a 1971 film directed by Mel Stewart. I'm doing Willy Wonka and the Chocolate
Oh.
Factory.
Double stack.
Willy, not Charlie.
Charlie Chocolate Factory. Willy Wonka.
No shit. Look, now we can high five in person when we get double stacks. This is great. All right, let's talk about it. For the record, I hate the other Charlie and the Chocolate Factory.
And I don't.
And
This is
you
my
don't
dessert
either.
pick.
Yeah, this is your dessert pick.
Fun- Okay, wait, real quick.
Yeah.
Funnily enough, on my drive down here, I was listening to our underrated episode, and we
Yeah.
were talking about Charlie and the Chocolate Factory.
Yeah, because I remember that was big controversy between me and you two.
Meant
Yeah.
to be.
But
But yeah, we're talking about the original here.
Uh-huh.
I don't think I've ever wanted candy more
Mm.
when I watch this movie.
Mm-hmm.
I want them to bring back the Wonka bar. They used to sell the Wonka bars. It was just
wait, that was a real food?
Mm-hmm.
yeah. It was just a crunch.
Wonka's
it was
the
a crunch.
company.
Oh,
Bar.
it's just a crunch bar.
Wonka-
It was just a
Wonka's a
crunch
real-
bar with like the chocolate just like a bit different. You know,
It's milk.
Is it better?
it's a bit milkier.
Yeah.
Actually, I think it's better than a crunch bar.
Oh.
It's better than a Hershey bar. That's for sure.
That's true. You know, I'm lukewarm on Hershey bars, but sometimes I get a craving for it.
Yeah, sure.
Mm.
You know,
Mm.
Symphony bars. That's where it's at.
Those are
if you
good.
want rich, like good chocolate, you get a Symphony bar.
Mm.
Anyways, Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory. It's just it's the definition of just a pleasant movie.
Mm.
You know, it's a very wholesome and pleasant movie about just being a good person. You know, because it's like Willy Wonka's testing these children
With
Just-
food.
with food. That's how it's set around food.
The contract is flavored, remember?
Yeah, you get children of all different sort of
Walks of life.
walks of life. Not really walks of life.
But
No,
there is
they're all
that.
kind of privileged, except for Charlie. But they're privileged in each different ways. You know, you have Augustus Gloop, that's sort of gluttony.
Gluttony.
You know,
It's the 7 deadly sins, man.
yeah. You get Veruca Salt, which is greed, and then
Violet is pride.
Violet, or is Mike TV pride?
Mike TV's wrath.
Wrath? Oh yeah, because he's
like
kind of
always, such a
yeah.
aggressive little shit.
That's true.
But there's only 5 children.
And
Wonka and
Deep cut.
I bet no one listening knows what the fuck that was.
5 children in it. Everyone look it up.
And then look up 4 kids in it. Just
4 kids in it. Where'd the 5th child go? Just saying.
You got murdered.
Someone check out
You
it.
got murdered.
Yeah, that sand fairy. I don't know. But yeah, it's just a very wholesome film. It's a classic, based off a classic novel by Roald Dahl.
Mm-hmm.
Roald Dahl. I think that's what he says.
Ronald McDonald.
Fucking Ron McDonald. I don't know his name.
Roll
He writes
call.
Roll Call. Ron McDonald. I don't know his name.
I'm Amber.
What?
You know, roll call.
Yeah, I know. From
Hairspray.
Hairspray. Good
Oh.
movie.
I think of Robot, Roll Call, Cambot, Gypsy,
Should we
I
get
miss
back
Tom
to
Servo,
Willy Wonka?
Pro. Okay, anyways. Yes, more high fives.
Interactive.
Their Imagination, is that the song? World of Imagination. Oh, awesome! Thank you. World of Imagination by Willy Wonka himself. The song he sings. Why am I forgetting his name?
Pure imagination.
Pure Imagination.
Yeah, Gene Wilder.
Gene Wilder. My gym teacher always said I looked like Gene Wilder when I was in high school.
A little bit.
A little bit. You know, a little bit of mix of Augustus
the
Gloop
curls.
and Gene Wilder, maybe.
His curls are tighter.
Tighter. And I don't like that. So that's fine by me. It's such a beautiful song, I think. You know? It's just like it's so wonderful. Wondrous,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah.
And that's probably my favorite scene in the movie. But besides that, just like seeing all the candy, the Oompa Loompa songs are good.
Mm.
And yeah, just a good movie. What do you think, Brandon?
I think it has a leg up on Charlie and the Chocolate Factory because I think while Charlie and the Chocolate Factory surely has enough room to deck out the factory with like lots of cool mechanical stuff, it doesn't really focus particularly on food. Whereas like I feel like the original is like a love letter to candy and food and the taste buds, because there's smell-o-vision stuff that contract thing's not in the movie, you know, or the fizzy lifting drinks, which is like another aspect of food that we don't often recognize, like a drink, you know.
That's right.
Because people think, oh, it's if I don't like chew on it, then it's not food, but it is. It's still food.
Goes your mouth, goes down your throat, goes your belly.
Still food. Anything could be food, but
are drugs food?
Yeah, I guess.
Are we really debating the semantics of food?
I'm just saying.
I mean, I can eat that pillow. It's gonna take me a while. Is that food?
It's an underutilized portion of film, and I think of food, for example. And I think Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory kind of nails it. You know, there's the Candyman song where he's going through the shop and they're singing all about the different candies and the beautiful like aspects of the world. And then, I mean, as though there are like, they still examine stuff in the original film that works so well from all kinds of desserts, and I love it. You know, I think that's the leg up it has on the remake, and I think it's a very good movie. The reason I chose it is because it's one of the best dessert movies out there. Like everything in the movie looks appetizing when they're covered in foam, on that foam.
Oh yeah,
and I was like, I'm not a cannibal, but I want to lick that shit.
I'm not a cannibal, but I want to lick that shit. Somebody quote that. What's going on your permanent record, young man?
The Gobstopper, the eggs.
The chocolate river.
Yeah, exactly. And that room is much better bathed in sunlight and bright light than it does in the dark in the original, or in the remake.
Yeah.
Where it's like covered in like the blacks and the browns, whereas like in the original it's bathed in this like white light, and you've got all the candy forest, which like is phosphorescent almost against this light background.
Yeah.
And I love that. It looks far more appetizing, far more delicious in my mind. And the kids are like, you know, it's kind of creepy in the remake. Not saying that's a bad thing. I think it works for the remake personally. But in the original, it's like almost like a childlike wonder. It's like a candy shop from the Candyman song, but on a much larger scale outdoors. Even though it's not outdoors, it just looks like it is, like a Disneyland ride.
Yeah.
So yeah, I really like it.
Chris?
I have not seen this movie in a really, really long time.
I think you were going to say you haven't seen it. I'm like, but you've seen the remake?
I've seen the remake a lot of times.
Yeah.
But yeah. I don't know what else to say about it. I haven't seen it since I was like really little. So like, quite frankly, like if I rewatched it, it would feel like a fresh watch.
Yeah.
Bug's Life.
Like Bug's Life, yeah. But
I watched that.
But yeah. I mean, like from what I do remember it being a very like. I remember as a kid, like when I watched it, I do like vividly remember like really wanting to eat like M&Ms or something, even though that wasn't like in the movie. But still,
yeah.
I really want to.
You just want the taste of chocolate.
Yeah, yeah. But so yeah, I see why you picked this. I mean, I almost picked Charlie and Chocolate Factory.
Yeah,
but I was like, nah. So
but I was like,
but like, I can totally see why you would pick either that or, of course, Willy Wonka. So yeah, good pick.
There you go. Well, that was a double stack. So Chris, take us in your first.
Okay. I'm gonna do my dessert one as well.
All right.
Since we're on the topic, I am picking
dessert first. Yum.
Oh my god.
Just so you guys know, Brandon just slapped Ethan while he was chewing.
That's coming back to you. Listeners of the show, before you start, sorry, Chris, before Brandon rudely interrupted you by slapping me across the face.
It was justified.
I'm keeping track of every time Brandon hits me or touches me. And I'm tallying up the level of pain that was. And I'm going to distribute that total of pain back on him in one hit. So
you're going to kill him one day. You're going to hit him with a car one day.
I think I'm going to shoot him one day. And be like, this is what all equals to. You know? Just shoot him right in between the eyes. Maybe I shouldn't keep that part in case Brandon dies and they don't know who killed him.
And it is the exact way you just described.
And I just threatened to kill you in the future. It's not me. I didn't do it.
He's gonna Gone Girl you and like.
I'm dead.
I'm dead. Brandon leaves the letter. In case you're reading this, I'm dead. Okay. Anyways, Chris.
All right. My dessert is a European dessert called a strudel. I'm picking Inglorious Bastards.
What?
Which might sound strange, but I do think this is one of the most delicious foods ever put to screen.
I don't even remember.
Okay.
It is.
But tell me how this movie is a food movie.
Oh no, this is my pick for just because it looks good.
Oh, okay. This is your just because it looks good.
Yeah. So
it's a visual feast.
It is a visual feast. Okay, so the scene in question in Glorious Bastards that I picked is the Strudel scene, which is a scene towards, like, I would think the beginning, middle-ish of the movie, between Londa and Shoshana.
Yeah.
It's very unnerving. Especially after you've seen the first scene of this film, you know, like, enough about their motivations, their personal backgrounds, their history, that there's just so much tension interwoven into the scene. Whether that's from editing or the performance, it's a scene that's very uncomfortable to sit in because we know that all behind the dialogue and everything, there's a lot of subtext about their relationship and what they really want out of each other. And so it's really tense, really like you're so uncomfortable watching the scene. And then suddenly this beautiful piece of culinary art enters the scene. A strudel. It's plump, it's fluffy, but it's light and gentle. Mm-hmm. But in a weird way, it kind of like breaks up the discomfort of the scene because of how much like that thing juxtaposes the tone of what had come before.
Right.
And the way that I really like the way they handle food. And like Tarantino's known for like whenever a character's eating food in his movies, like it always feels like he takes a note of it. You know, it's never just like trivially eating food.
You know, whenever you have a Brad Pitt movie, you have to have food. He eats.
That's
yeah,
true.
Brad Pitt loves eating on
He
screen.
loves snacking, which is like a terrible thing for the script and for Brad Pitt himself.
That's not healthy.
No,
Brad Pitt.
No,
You're gonna get chubby.
You gotta cut down.
No, he's gonna get full.
Chubby.
He's gonna get full.
If he's eating nuts all day, he's gonna be like...
He's gonna be like, I'm full of nuts.
Yeah.
These nuts.
He's like, I've been packing in nuts like a dang squirrel all day. My stomach is fucked.
But yeah, like in that scene, like watching Londa like indulge in this delicious dessert while Shoshana only literally eats one bite in that entire scene.
Yeah,
it really doesn't help to show like the power dynamic between them. And yeah, you know, and on top of like the way they use that, like the strudel as an element within the scene and a way to like enhance the performances and bring up the tension and whatever. Mm-hmm. I just generally also just think the strudel looks fucking delicious, especially once they bring the creme. Ooh.
What's a strudel?
Search it up. Inglorious Bastards. Oh my god. Sorry, pepperoni my foot. Inglorious Bastards strudel, and then that should help.
I'm looking at it right now. It looks pretty good.
It kind of looks like a croissant with some whipped cream on top.
It's powdered with powdered sugar, and the whipped cream is just like...
It's one of the top results on Google.
What, if you search Inglorious Bastards and then strudel comes up?
No, just
strudel.
S.
And then strudel.
Oh, and yeah, the strudel. If you go Inglorious Bastards S, the strudel will come up.
But yeah, so I pick Inglorious Bastards just because of that.
I do think you picked it not only A, that it looks delish, but B, I love how you analyzed how it's like it is a device within the scene to like use to break tension or create more tension. Yeah, you know. And when he puts his cigarette out on the
thing, it's like,
no.
Like there's something about it.
I'm like, listen, I know he's a Nazi, but that's what tipped off the edge for me.
That's fucked up.
And that's when I was like, fuck this guy. No, I'm just kidding.
Londa, you lost me.
No, yeah, this looks great. Oh, I want something desserty now.
Nope.
Nope.
You can't have any of that.
Oh yeah, I'll have a cookies and cream Hershey's Kiss. Thank you, Chris.
No worries.
But yeah.
Brandon, anything you want to say about the strudel?
I mean, I don't really remember the scene if I'm
Send Strudes.
The stuff I remember in that movie is like more along the lines of like the actual plot. Not saying it's not a part of the plot.
Yeah,
I'm
no,
just
I get
saying
it.
it's like in the grand scheme of things in Inglourious Bastards, I don't think that scene really did it for me. Like when I think Inglourious Bastards, I think the big scene at the beginning of the film. There's that scene in the forest.
Yeah.
There's the opera house scene. Yeah, there's stuff. There's lots of good scenes in Inglourious Bastards, But it is one of my least favorite Tarantino films.
That's a hot take.
Is it?
I think so.
No,
a lot of people
I agree
like
with him.
But a lot of
It's-
people really like Inglourious.
Yeah, actually,
It's like good.
I think a lot of people like it. It is a hot take because I think it's widely celebrated, but it is one of my lower ones too.
It's like bottom 3 for me.
Mhm.
And that's not saying it's a bad movie. I don't think Tarantino's made a bad movie, not even Death Proof, but it's just okay, you know. But that movie's good. It's just I don't really like, whenever I look back at it, I'm like, I think of it for a few scenes. I don't think of it as a whole.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
For sure.
Mhm.
No, I get that. But yeah, that's my first pick. Inglourious Bastards.
Alrighty, good first pick when it comes to like the food itself.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to the next round, and I'm gonna do the same thing, choosing. The movie doesn't revolve around this food.
It's dinner, breakfast, lunch.
It could be lunch or dinner.
Huh.
But I think this food is integral to the characters themselves and the world. Let's see if you can guess what it is. I'm gonna say what the food is, and you try to guess the movie.
Okay,
Go ahead.
that's fun.
Pizza.
Little Italy.
Is that a movie?
Yeah,
No, I'm not choosing
Pizza?
Little Italy. Pizza.
pizza. Do the right
What
thing.
movie did they eat pizza in?
I think do the right thing.
I'm choosing Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Oh!
The Secret of the Ooze.
I'm gonna shut
Now
your
the-
fucking computer.
Hey, you just looked at my picks.
I didn't see it.
Okay.
I'm toasted right now.
I'm choosing this because have you guys seen this movie?
I've only seen the original
I've
and
never seen a
TMNT.
TMNT movie.
All right.
Oh, no, other than the live action Michael Bay one.
I'm
I've seen both
I'm
of
gonna
those.
talk about my piece while I just play the opening sequence on this laptop for you guys to watch, just to show how well they draw you into this world.
This is like a copyright.
Using- No, like I'm gonna have the
In
sound
memory.
off in memory of Jim Henson. It starts out like that because Jim Henson did the
Puppeteer.
he did the.
Are we
puppeteering.
becoming a React channel?
This is a React channel, but it starts out
That's
with
the
New York
Miramax
City.
logo.
That's the Miramax logo. Harvey Weinstein's not far behind. No. So this movie is a celebration of New York style pizza and of New York and how pizza is the fuel of the New York spirit and
That's
of these
hot
New York
dogs.
no, just wait for it. Just wait for it. It's showing New York life right now. And it's showing just like
Gary.
people, you know, the classes horses. Oh, and what do we see here?
Oh, pizza.
Two dudes sharing some slice of pizza. We see romance.
They're
And what are
drinking
they?
wine.
Over to some
Oh,
slices of pizza.
Oh.
What do we get? A cab driver, you know, a greasy slice of New York style pizza.
Can you
Green lights.
overlay the scene? Is that allowed?
I could, because I'm not gonna play
With
sound.
no audio?
Yeah, and then look, everyone's walking and eating slices of pizza. Everyone's going crazy for pizza.
Jack, when he went to New York, he was always talking about that one.
Yeah, look, even the
pizza.
cops are eating pizza. But
Those-
cab, but listen, they did the right decision. Roy's Pizza. Roy's. Oh, look at that. See, look, they cut the pizza.
What a slice.
What a freaking slice. We see everyone just chowing down on pizza. The whole city, New York runs on pizza.
Man, I kind of want
The
pizza.
string. No,
Just-
Seriously, I'm
so
if you
throw in
want
the
one, I'm
dough.
slice for real.
And it's just like, that's basically it. But, because then it goes up to this guy, it introduces this guy as a pizza delivery driver who works for the hand. No, the foot. It's a Foot Clan.
The Foot Clan.
Okay, the hand is Daredevil. Anyways, but
They should collab.
the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, one of their key attributes is that they love pizza.
Especially Mikey.
Mikey loves pizza. So, they make sure in these movies, specifically TMNT 2, Secret of the Ooze, to make sure that this pizza will make you want to eat pizza while you're watching the movie. It is delicious. It is cheesy. It is shiny from the
Cheesy
grease.
'cause-
I will not lie. While watching that, I took a bite of my pizza. I was like, damn.
Yeah,
This is
right? And I've never been so affected by a food in a movie to do that for me. So that's why I didn't choose a movie that centers around the food. Like, the movie's not about the Ninja Turtles getting pizza, you know?
No,
making
but that's
pizza.
a big part of who they are.
Yeah,
they love
but-
pizza.
They love pizza, and it's just like, it's constantly there. They're always living in the shadow of pizza.
Out of the shadows. No.
But yeah, I chose that movie. What do you guys think of that?
I like that. I like
It's
the idea.
intrinsic to the idea of the Ninja Turtles.
And of New York.
And of New York.
'Cause
So it's very much a
There's nothing more
personality
iconic than a New York slice.
thing. The
you know?
$1 New York slice, as Jack says.
Yeah,
Big deal.
it's a big deal.
It's a good deal, too.
Yeah.
Good ass deal.
I remember going to New York, and that's what
Same.
I always wanted.
Big
I've
It's just
never
the
been to
$1.
New York, but I would assume that's pizza.
Yeah, I gotta. Though I was a little disappointed. I chose the wrong place for my $1 slice.
You gotta get the right one.
I know. I gotta find the right. I was a kid when I went to New York. I was like, I remember we got. I was like, $1 slice, and I got it. And it was like, oh, that's
If
okay.
California had $1 slices, you bet your ass I'd be eating pizza every day.
I know, me too. I'm kind of glad they don't. You know,
Because then I'd be pizza.
that you are what you eat.
Yeah,
Pizza.
I'd
That's
become
right.
a slice of pizza, like that Jimmy Neutron episode.
Jimmy Neutron. But yeah, Ninja Turtles pizza. Any other thoughts?
I haven't seen the movie, so I can't speak on that.
Can't
But
speak on the movie.
I
accept
I
the
agree with your
thesis.
case.
You accept
I like
the
your
thesis?
case. I accept the thesis.
That's good. All right then, Brandon. Let's go into your food.
Oh, food.
Nom, 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 nom.
All right, I'm gonna go with
Nummies.
my dinner pick next. I'm going backwards since I started with my dessert pick. I'm doing the cook, the wife, the thief, his wife, and her lover.
Wait, so it's the cook,
The thief, his wife, and her lover.
thief, his wife, and her lover.
Yeah,
Damn.
this is a movie that indulges in the pleasures of life.
Mm-hmm.
In that the film focuses on two things that are intrinsic to human beings getting pleasure, which are eating and having sex. Just like another movie that might or might not pop up later. I don't know. But this British film examines a restaurant owner and kind of like gang leader, like at the same time. Like it's all like one and the same. And his relationship with his wife.
Mm-hmm.
And her lover is a food critic, and they're all at this fancy fine dining restaurant. Like I feel like when I'm looking at the fantastical when I'm looking at Willy Wonka. You know, it's
Yeah.
a fantastical dessert movie, as dessert is a fantastical dish to have after you've had like such a nice, well prepared meal. But when I think of dinner, I think of fine dining. And what says fine dining but this imagery? I'm going to show you guys a little bit of the movie from the trailer.
Oh, there we go. Look at this.
look
We,
at the-
live reactions
Look
here.
at the whites and the reds that this film utilizes.
That's just the title card. Oh, the reds.
That's like the
Actually-
In the Mood for Love hall.
Yeah.
Exactly. It's very beautiful and gorgeous, and it contrasts the passion that one has for another person with the passion they have for food.
Ooh.
You see people making it, see people eating it, and you see people using it like as weapons. Like I feel like I feel it's been a little bit since I've seen the movie, but I remember there being a scene where the cook himself, and he is like kind
The
of a no.
His wife
The-
and her lover.
The cook, the person who runs the mob, who's played by like Michael Gambon in this movie, also Dumbledore for all those Harry Potter fans out there.
Better not
He is like a sadistic motherfucker.
Yeah.
Yeah, the way he like puts people in like his meat truck, you know, meat trucks that are all like ice covered and have like the meats hanging from there. Like he like utilizes that to like put people inside and kind of torture them. That's like his device for that shit.
Oh.
So it's like all ranges of like food and how it's utilized, not only for pleasure but for pain. And I love that aspect of the film because you go through the kitchen many a time, because the kitchen is the secret place where the wife and the lover meet up to have secret affairs among the food items that are like strewn down. And the people who are lower class, who are the cooks for them, now aren't the main cook, the one that runs this mob, are like helping them and like covering for them because they know that they're in love and that it's a genuine, beautiful relationship that is combined with all the food put down on the like the walls and on while they're boiling stuff, like right by that they're having sex. And it's great. It's a great movie. I really recommend it to anybody. Like the food in the movie is quite good. There's no delicious close-ups like in anime, but there's a feast to look at.
Mm.
I'm looking through the Google images right now of it, and I'm curious about this one image. Is this a spoiler?
Not really.
Not really.
Not really.
It looks like they're eating a person. It looks like a whole person that's like cooked like a pig.
Listen. It's thematically prevalent to what is being said and by this guy.
So
this
is your pick for the good looking food, is what you're saying.
No. The food just doesn't have to be good looking. This evokes the good feeling of
Of eating something. The good feeling of eating someone. No, I'm just kidding.
eating someone out, maybe too as well. I don't know. That's food.
Yeah,
You already
that's
see it, I guess.
totally. Stop it! I'm cutting that out. I'm gonna mark it.
You can't do that. That's rude.
What do you mean that's rude?
I think it's wonderful. But
Cook.
look, And look at the colors, the beautiful colors of the movie. It's one of my most well shot production design movies out there. Oh, it looks so delicious.
I do love the
fancy.
colors.
It's delicious and fancy.
Delicious. Is it scrumptious?
It's fine dining. That's what
It's scrumdiddlyumptious.
It's scrumdiddlyumptious.
Bringing it back to Willy Wonka, scrumdiddlyumptious bar.
Yeah, that's right. Scrumdiddlyumptious bar. Don't do that. He just put his face down in his sandwich on the table and just started eating out of it. He didn't even pick it up. You're an animal. No wonder you like looking at the cooked human and be like, scrumdiddlyumptious. I've never heard of this movie. Actually, I've heard of the title because it's a long title, and I thought it was funny. I didn't know what it was about until now, and it sounds really interesting. It looks beautiful. You know, the color red is a powerful color. I think it might be one of the most powerful colors in all of cinema.
Dominant.
Using red.
Yeah.
Completely covering the
Turning
screen red.
you know.
Turning red. Yeah. So color me red and color me intrigued. So there you go. What do you think, Chris?
I concur.
Alrighty. What? We haven't seen this movie. It looks beautiful.
You're right. Thank you.
Oh,
You sold us. Looks good. Looks scrumdiddlyumptious.
Okay.
All right, Chris.
all right.
Let's go to your
I'm going to save my big fun one for last. So I'm going to hit you guys with a slightly more depressing one.
Okay.
I'll tell you Phantom Thread.
Okay. Unless you're eating a dang dress.
I'm going to play Wordle instead.
So let me first be clear. I do not even think the food in this movie looks all that good.
Okay.
A lot of very like pompous British food, which is like okay, I love a British breakfast. Don't get me wrong, but I don't think British food's all that good. But that's just me. Anyway, so Phantom Thread is a Paul Thomas Anderson movie from 2017. And the reason I picked this movie is the film is filled with a lot of dining scenes. The two main characters meet over breakfast. The movie ends at dinner. So, and like throughout the entire movie, there are a lot of like really quiet and tense breakfasts and very passionate and enraged dinners. A lot of the relationship between Woodcock and Alma is centered around some form of like artistry, whether that be his like insanity towards the perfection that is his craft and everything. There's a lot of things about this movie, about like the relationship that centers around something like that. And food is just another one of those. The scene that steals the entire show, this film, at least for me, is the very ending of this movie where Alma and Woodcock, now having realized, spoiler alert, now having realized how twisted their relationship is, they play a quite literal game of chicken where that ends with Woodcock being willingly poisoned by Alma because they realize that their relationship is actually much better in this kind of very quite literal toxic environment. Yeah. I think it speaks very interestingly towards the shall I say, like certain relationships that you might see in like, and like, you know, there's a lot to dissect there, especially like if you're the kind of person who may have encountered that in life before or something like that. And that last scene is it's like a kind of a culmination for me about what that entire movie was building up to. And I think that scene in specific is very well directed. Every like gesture that Woodcock and Alma make, every time he swallows a little extra bit of food, it's very intense and kind of like by the ending it leaves the audience kind of like very disturbed, but also like kind of relishing in the insanity of it all, at least to me. Yeah. I know like not many people are really into this movie, but this movie also has its fair share of defenders. Yeah. I kind of fall in the middle. You know, this movie hasn't stuck with me the most, but there are certain things in this movie that I really do like and I think is really interesting. But yeah, so I chose this movie just because how food functions as part of the narrative and part of the relationship between the two main characters.
I think that's a very creative take.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because you start to think about it, like all this stuff that they have, all the conversations and connection they have is put through the test, through the narrative, like you said. Like throughout the film, they mainly communicate through eating, even if it's not a food movie necessarily. Yeah. And though the food isn't necessarily like the most visually captivating, it is something that I think works immensely well. Even though I don't like the food film that much.
Yeah. I was very baby-brained freshman when I saw this movie for the first time.
I think it was my second or first PTA, and I can't remember which.
I can't remember which either.
Hmm.
I think it was either this one or The Master. I think it was The Master because I remember seeing The Master before I left for Christmas break, and I did see this at home with my parents.
I think it was their movie Blood for me.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was not a fan of this film. I think the way Paul Thomas Anderson uses, sort of, silence and the performance of Daniel Day-Lewis as this man-child dressmaker, you know, it rightfully got on my nerves, which his intention.
Yeah.
Like it's supposed to frustrate you, this person. But I think when back in 2017, I was like, I hate this because of that, but I don't know. It doesn't, I just remember it also being really long and having me like, I have no desire to go back to it, but I do love your analysis of the food of this movie because I do remember like there are pauses of the movie when he's having breakfast like in the mornings, and the climax of this movie really is like when she's feeding him the mushrooms, like poisoning him, and that's like integral to like their relationship.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's not about eating dresses. That's not why it's a food movie. They don't eat the dresses. It's the food that they eat and how their food parallels character and conflict.
Yeah, it's fashion design, but it's not really necessarily all about that.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm. Subtext, my friend.
Subtext, dear listeners. Pay attention to it. Become an active viewer thanks to the Stacked podcast. Yay. Okay.
Final round, baby.
Final round.
No.
No?
I want to keep going.
You just want to keep listing more films?
We can do honorable mentions later.
We'll do honorable mentions because I do have some that I want to talk about.
Same.
Besides The Founder.
Good movie.
It's a good movie. All right, I'm going to go to my last film. Brandon sort of mentioned this earlier. 1985, Juzo Itami's Tampopo. Tampopo. It is... Chris, have you seen this movie?
I don't even know what the fuck you just said.
Tampopo?
Tampopo?
Uh-huh. Okay, imagine the movie Rocky, but instead of being a boxer, it's about owning a ramen shop.
A ramen shop?
Yeah. So it's about Rocky, but it's about ramen.
Interesting.
So it is about
this. That sounds good.
This movie, listen, here's a hot take. I don't like ramen. I don't like ramen.
You want to go to Japan and you don't like ramen?
I know. I want to go.
What an idiot. Am I right?
I'm going to take you to go get real ramen one
I
day.
know. So I know I'm going to force myself to eat ramen until I like it. Because of this movie.
Not how food
Because of this movie. All right? This movie makes me want to have ramen so bad, even though I don't like it, because it is just a beautiful movie about life and art. It literally is Rocky. So it's about a woman who is struggling to maintain a ramen shop in such a competitive, sort of a competitive field that is, the bottle of wine, field that is having ramen shops in Japan. And this truck driver comes into her shop, and he is a master at ramen. At making ramen fast and effective and tasty.
It's like a Wild Wild West.
It is. He wears like a cowboy hat, and he comes in, and he decides to become the mentor to this woman to make one of the greatest ramen shops ever. They remodel the shop. They go through Rocky montages of her learning how to make great ramen. They literally do the thing where she goes for a run, with the bike. And it's such a delightful movie, a delicious movie. And then there's also a subplot that doesn't really have to do with the plot of the movie.
Nope.
Not at all. But it's just a celebration of, like I said, food, life, and love. And it is this plot about just these two lovers with a food kink. And yeah,
it's
interesting.
There's
sexual
some sex
side.
stuff
There's a
in
sexual.
there's a sexual side to this,
and it develops, and it's also about natural food.
Yeah,
The last shot of the film.
that's right.
Natural sustenance. It is like the ultimate foodie movie. I feel like a lot of people bring it up in discussion whenever they're talking about
I'm sold on this.
Yeah.
This sounds really
If
good.
you
It's really
ever want to
interesting.
see two people pass an egg yolk to each other, back and forth, this movie is for you. Um,
All right.
it is beautiful. It looks beautiful. The colors are, it's sort of pastel but bright.
It's like
You know, I think the Criterion cover that Chris is flipping through right now that I own captures how this movie looks and feels. I think it's one of Criterion's best looking covers.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
The cover is not the book, though.
No, don't judge a book by its cover, but this one's pretty close to it. And you should definitely check it out. Chris, you should definitely look at it. Brandon, you've seen this movie. What do you think of Tom Popo?
I like food.
I know.
Like the way it's depicted in this film. You get a sense of the temperature and the texture of the food in the film as they're making it. Like she in these montages where she's like trying to like make the ramen right. Like there's sequences where like it's not quite right, and you can sort of tell by the way it looks or the way that they act when they taste it, or even like in the way that they cook it. You know, and in that sense, like you really get a sense for like the progression of it, because often in films about food, the film's already cooked.
Yeah,
it's not a Food Network show where it's like they're cooking it as the show is going on. It's like, oh, the food's cooked, it looks nice, that's it.
Yeah.
No, it's like you get to all the stages of cooking, whether that's like preparation, the actual cooking itself, a mixing of ingredients. This movie has it all. You know, in terms of that. And it is like one of the ultimate foodie movies out there. I was going to pick it, but I figured Ethan would pick it, so I didn't want to get a double stack, even though we did. So, good movie.
Good movie. There we go.
Take that. Very sold on that.
Yeah.
It's a Western.
I think you'd love this movie, Chris.
I think I would too. That sounds really cool.
Alrighty. Brandon, let's go into your last film.
My last film is Chef.
I knew this would show up. That's why I didn't pick it.
John Favreau
Yep.
movie.
I think this is my lunch option, and I think it examines an underrated part of dining, which is the food service, truck mobile dining, which you see often in big cities like New York, LA, and their suburbs, which is food trucks. And it's done with such love, because the people who operate food trucks aren't doing it for a profit. This isn't some big chain restaurant who's trying to sell you something super cheap and super easy. And somebody who's cooking for a living, he doesn't necessarily have the money to operate a large chain restaurant, who is utilizing their talents for cooking, their passion for food, to showcase it on a smaller scale, a more personal scale for the people around them. And the food in this movie looks great. You get the sense of the heat in the kitchen. It's John Favreau at his most personal, because often in his films, he has a very great eye for high concept stuff. We all know this. We've all seen his Disney work, his Marvel work, his Disney work, his Star Wars work, all of which are intrinsically connected. But when you strip all that away, you have this film about the heart of a man who loves to cook, who loves his family, and who loves his found family. There may be struggles along the way, but he never loses sight of that, He never loses sight of his main goal, and that's to please people with his food and his creations.
Yes. Chef is a movie. It's a movie about family,
It's Fast and Furious.
And I think food can often be about family. I think family and food are quite often very much connected, Watching Brandon try to open this wine bottle is funny. It is just watching like a monkey learn how to use a typewriter. Maybe not open the wine bottle like that over our carpet.
Why not?
Because I don't know. I don't trust you just opening it and you stain it with red wine.
I ain't staining shit, buddy.
I ain't staining shit. All right. Yeah, I think this movie perfectly emphasizes how we think of food and family. My all-time favorite sequence of this film is towards the beginning when he makes his son the grilled cheese.
Oh.
I think that is such a beautiful scene because that scene is just absolute food porn. That grilled cheese looks delicious. But also, it's such a simple food that he makes so beautifully and looks so good. And just like it reflects the love that he has for his son and just how something so small and simple can be put with so much love and care and made to look so beautiful. You know? And that's what this movie's all about. And it is just, it's one of the best optimistic films, you know? It's just a beautiful film.
You know, often like this kind of food is overlooked in cinema.
Like food trucks?
Street food.
Street food.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like, I feel like having a film that kind of encapsulates all that, apart from the fine dining experience, apart from the home experience, apart from the fantastical stuff that you see in something like Willy Wonka or even Tom Popo, is really nice.
Yeah. So
I think it's a very unique choice.
Very unique, grounded choice. John Leguizamo's great.
Very good.
Very good.
Best role.
You think that's your favorite role of his?
Yeah. I prefer him in this than Ice Age.
What? Sid the Sloth will always be the GOAT in my book.
Okay.
Chris, what do you think?
Statue of him then.
What? Get a stat. I'll look it up right now. Chris, what do you think of Chef?
I have not seen Chef.
What?
I've heard very good things. Ryan Urzi has been trying to get me to watch this for a while, and I told him I will if he lets me. If we get to watch Sausage Party together, because we have that ongoing fight over whether or not he will ever watch Sausage Party.
Yeah.
Anyway, I've only heard really good things. I've heard like it's a surprisingly touching story.
Yes.
And food is used as a as you said, Ethan, like a way to unite people. It's like part of our humanity to eat, you know, and like so it's indulgent but also like human and grounded too. Yeah. And I dig that. And yeah, I mean that's really all I have to say about it. I haven't seen this movie. But you guys having this conversation about it kinda it was a nice little preempt for my next pick.
Oh yeah?
So
well, shall we get into it?
Sure. We shall.
Our last pick. The wild card, Chris's famous wild card picks.
Okay. Oh, I thought Where's Bastards was
No, this is my wild
this
card.
Is the
you
wild
guys don't
card.
even you go neither of you have rated or even marked as a want to watch yet.
But
that's when you know.
Then make us want to mark it as
all right.
Put it on
have
watch
a seat,
list.
boys. Here I have a film from Hong Kong, directed by Stephen Chow.
Okay.
The God of Cookery.
The God of Cookery?
Now so The God of Cookery. So let me preempt this by contextualizing who Stephen Chow is. Stephen Chow, for anyone who doesn't know, is a director from Hong Kong, most famous for his work for Kung Fu Hustle and Shaolin Soccer. But in this movie, he is both the director and the lead character. It's a Stephen Chow classic comedy called The God of Cookery. So in this movie, Chow plays a famous cook and food critic nicknamed the God of Cookery.
Yes.
He is a pretentious and unforgiving chef. But once you like peel back the curtains on his character a little bit, you start to learn a little bit about how he has an overwhelming sense of loneliness and inability to connect with others and find what makes him happy in life. So in response, he has an overwhelming urge to seek perfection in his food. It leads him down a very reckless pursuit of absolute perfection. And this chase eventually comes to a halt when his business partners betray him, stripping him of all of his wealth, his accolades, all of his titles, his power, and forcing him directly into poverty.
Whoa.
Eventually, he finds himself the most delicious food in the world. And I'm going to show you guys a picture of this.
Let me see it.
This is called, in Cantonese, called cha siu fan, which is barbecued, Chinese barbecued pork with white rice. Brandon?
Brandon, do you want to get up off the floor? No, but look at that.
Oh.
Glistening.
Yeah, so he finds cha siu fan, which is a massive local favorite in Hong Kong. It's a very Hong Kong already has a very impressive food culture, I would say, but this is one of the biggest staples within the city. And him discovering this dish, this very small, local, very cheap and easy to access dish, propels him into a journey of rediscovering the humble and small things in life that he was missing all this time when he was a big-time chef. That's largely the plot of that story. It's about a guy being stripped of everything he has and learning to reconcile that by indulging in the small things in life, about appreciating the little things. I'm going to contextualize this with something else. So prior to his fame as the quite literal king of comedy in Hong Kong, which, by the way, he made a movie called King of Comedy.
Oh, really?
So prior to like him kind of becoming this big time director in Hong Kong, Stephen Chow had a very modest beginnings. Like much like any of us here, like he was an everyday person who eventually found a talent and passion for film. And in this context of the story, as there's a lot of this movie is also very anti-capitalist. Because in history, like Hong Kong's economy really boomed in the 1970s, and a lot of the culture of the city transitioned from into this very like capitalist oriented social culture. So in the movie, human relations are replaced with cold hard cash, and these like small, gentle, like easy local homey foods are replaced with these pretentious bullshit dishes with these fancy ingredients that no one really gives a shit about.
Yeah.
And yeah, like the movie is like it takes the character and the audience on the spiritual journey, searching for the most meaningful things in your life, and oftentimes those are the people that you grew up with, people who have cared for you even when you're at your lowest of lows. And yeah, it's about finding connection to all those meaningful things in your life while still honoring the very simple and little bowl of barbecued pork that changed his life when he was at his lowest low. Ooh. So that is why I picked this movie, because it's about the pork it's an allegory for like this guy's journey, but also like is the catalyst for what helps him discover what really matters to him in life. And also, this movie's fucking funny, man. Yeah. Like, it has all of the crazy Stephen Chowisms where he's like, people are like when people like run out of scene, like you hear tires screeching and shit like that.
Oh my god. So,
yeah, God of Cookery.
Is it offensive to say that?
I'm just gonna put a
Is it offensive to say that, like Stephen Chow's films, even though he's not a Japanese filmmaker but a Hong Kong filmmaker,
has like an anime edge. Feel?
Yeah,
I would say I don't
even think it's anime. I just think like
that's Asian filmmaking, other than China.
No, I just think he is able just to bring the energy of just animation in general, of like bending the laws of physics. He makes it believable and entertaining.
He somehow like jumps over the uncanny valley,
which is good.
Like I wouldn't even say anime. Really I would say like he's more like Looney Tunes.
Yeah, Looney Tunes is actually a pretty good example.
Because he does the things where like their legs are like spinning and they run in place before they go dart off screen. Yeah. You know, I like I've only seen Kung Fu Hustle and Shaolin Soccer, but like all you need to say is that like Stephen Chow made this movie, you know, and that like I'm sold. Like he is just a brilliant filmmaker who. Like, I think a lot of filmmakers want to make movies like him, but fail. I'm thinking, I think often the Wachowski sisters tried to do stuff like that Stephen Chow did with Speed Racer, which I know you're a fan of, but personally, not so much. But Stephen Chow, he just knows how to take itself seriously enough,
but not too serious that you lose the lightness of it.
Exactly.
Yeah,
and having a cooking movie, that's all I need to know. Like Stephen Chow makes a cooking movie. Yeah. That's all I need to know. Yeah. And I'm so sold. Brandon?
Could work.
Yeah.
Based on the food I looked at, the images on Google.
Looks nummy.
And I love the idea.
Thematics, like you said. You nailed it.
Like, I love the idea of just a simple dish changing your life. Do you guys have a dish like that?
It's that. Chao Siu Fan.
That's
one of my biggest comfort foods.
Yeah.
Okay.
What about you?
Potatoes.
just potatoes? Like, no need to... You just pull them out of the ground and start eating them?
Kiss me, I'm Irish, man. Potatoes. Just potatoes. Right. You can do anything with potatoes.
You could do
alcohol potatoes. You can boil them.
You can power
No, but is there like a certain dish that you remember having?
No? Potatoes.
Okay. Sure. Mine... it's Pei Wei's honey seared chicken.
Okay.
It's my life-changing dish.
This sub is my life-changing dish.
You're insane. You said potatoes. What are you, cheese from Foster's Home for Imaginary Friends? I like potatoes. Can I just give you a potato and you'll just suck on it?
You are like cheese from Foster's Home.
Giddy up, giddy up, giddy up, giddy up. Giddy up, giddy up, giddy up. That's you.
I like it.
I like chocolate. Do you like chocolate milk?
Eh.
No, you don't. That's the one thing. You like oat milk, though. Almond milk. There you go. All right. That sounds amazing. I love it. I'm so glad to know that Stephen Chow has made a food movie, because now I'm dying to watch it. His movies, like, besides Shaolin Soccer and Kung Fu Hustle, they're hard to find.
They're very hard to find.
I need to find them somehow.
I don't even know when I watched this. I think my dad just put it on one day when I was little.
Yeah.
I remember it looking really... Because he put it on while I was eating char siu fan.
Oh, yeah?
And yeah, I could ask my dad. It might have just been on TV.
Oh, yeah? Well, I want to find a U.S. copy of it and watch it. Alrighty.
Well, there we go.
Those are our lists. So before we get to picking this final stack, let's run down all of our picks one last time. I'll start with Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 2, The Secret of the Ooze for the pizza, and Tom Popo. Brandon?
I had Willy Wonka, the cook, his wife,
Nope.
the thief, her lover.
You can't even get the title right.
Okay.
Cook, the thief, his wife, his lover, and her lover.
Okay. Get over it.
And let's see you mess up this one.
Shit.
You chose the longest title and then the shortest title. Chris, what are yours?
Mine were Inglourious Bastards, Phantom Thread, and The God of Cookery.
Okay.
Okay, I have a proposal.
Yeah.
So we know that Willy Wonka's being on this because it's a double stack.
It's British dessert.
Yes, it is.
It is. Even though everyone there in that movie has an American accent. Charlie has an American accent.
Not the Candyman.
Okay, the Candyman, but why does Charlie, a poor British boy, have an American accent and his grandpa too?
It's the Candyman can because he makes.
And so does Willy Wonka.
No.
No? Yes?
No.
Okay.
Okay, so
Anyways,
we have Charlie and Chocolate Factory, and I say we pick two of the following three.
Okay.
The cook, his wife, the something and their lover, whatever.
Okay.
Tampopo and God of Cookery. God of Cookery.
I'm thinking God of Cookery.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking Tampopo.
I'm thinking that too.
I think that too.
Because
Different countries.
different countries, even though
Variety.
we got two
What foods do we have?
ramen,
We got ramen,
candy,
and char siu.
And char siu.
That's good.
you got a full course meal.
Mm.
We got two mains and
Two mains.
a lot of candy.
And a lot of candy.
Yeah, you got two very
Hey, that's what we have right now.
Yeah.
We have two different kinds of foods: pizza,
And
sandwich,
shitload
and
of
a
candy.
shitload of candy. All right, I like that.
I like it.
Easy. All right, how do we order this thing?
Willy Wonka last.
Willy Wonka last. It's
Willy Wonka
dessert.
last.
It's dessert.
The thing is, char siu and ramen
Yes,
are
yes.
like they're both main dishes.
What has a better ending?
The
I think the God of Cookery is more crazy, so I think that should go in the middle.
yeah,
So it's
that
sort of-
is a more out there movie.
You know, I don't think you start off with that.
Should we recap our honorable mentions later?
Yeah, let's do that after.
Let's do that once
decide.
we do the final stack. So I think Tampopo, the God of Cookery, and Willy Wonka.
Got it.
Okay.
I'm down.
do you
That
say?
sounds great. I like that.
Alrighty.
I actually really like that.
Then let's roll with our list of Stack's official final stack of the best food movies, starting with Brandon almost putting his hand down his pants. I saw you. That's live. How often do you do that when I read these final stacks? Oh, haha. Oh, talk about sausage party. You just showed me his penis, everybody. No, he didn't. Starting with Juzo Itami's Tampopo, a movie about life, love, eat, pray, love. Did anyone?
The
No one
pursuit of
chose
happiness.
eat, pray, love. No. It's about ramen. It's about being your best self, being your happiest self, being your sexiest self. It's about loving
Food.
each other and food
Mm.
and the art of making food. You know,
Literally.
literally making. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Food. Yeah. Okay, I get it. Milky. Good job. Tampopo. That's our first pick. Chris, what's our second pick?
Our second pick is Stephen Chow's 1996 movie.
2000 and 1996.
The God of Cookery,
That's the
a
Wonka West
story.
sequel to 2096.
2096?
Is that what it is?
2046.
Oh, okay.
Stupid ass.
So stupid ass.
Stupid ass.
Racist ass.
Racist ass.
Can't even remember
Don't
Hong
even-
Kong director's movie numbers. Racist ass.
Anyway, another Hong Kong director. Stephen Chow's 1996 classic comedy, The God of Cookery. A story about learning to find what is most meaningful from the most humble of things. And why not through a simple little bowl of barbecued pork char siu fan?
Boom.
Bang.
Say the words, my friend.
And our last film.
Oh.
1971, Mel Stewart, documentarian, Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory. A scrumdiddlyumptious film
Scrumdiddly.
that features candy, food galore, and a beautiful message about accepting who you are and who you will become.
Hell yeah!
Namaste.
Honorable mentions?
Honorable mentions. All right,
Do you want,
Chris.
can I rattle off a bunch?
Yeah, real off some of
Charlotte,
yours.
Okay.
cloudy with the chance of meatball.
Okay, I'm gonna rattle off a
Chris
couple.
goes first.
I'm gonna name the movie and name the food that I'm referring to.
Okay.
Parasite, Ramdan.
Ooh.
That looks so good, and it's
So
so
good.
simple to make.
Yeah.
Pulp Fiction burger. I don't know
The
why.
burger,
The burger looks
yeah.
really good. Kung Fu Panda, the
Royale
noodle soup.
cheese.
The Incredibles, that cake that he eats when he comes home.
Oh yeah.
The Simpsons movie, Flanders's hot chocolate that he makes for Bart. The Iron Giant, the milkshake. Milkshake.
The
Is it a
Wonder Bread, the milkshake.
Wonder Bread and milkshake, and lastly, Sausage Party. Every character.
Every character. All right. Here are my honorable mentions. Goodfellas, the
Oh,
prison
yeah.
sauce.
Yeah.
Come on. The garlic. Grand Budapest Hotel.
The
Those-
Mandels.
The Mandels. Ratatouille.
Of course. Okay, I was about to say, no one picked Ratatouille.
No
We
one
did
picked
Pixar and this. And
I know. Ratatouille fans hate us. Two episodes in a row. They're like, what the fuck?
Next one we should do mouse movies.
Mouse movies.
Mouse Hunt.
I was going to pick a documentary
Del Despero, Stuart
about,
Little.
it's called Jiro Dreams of Sushi. You've heard of that?
Yep.
This is about sushi, and it's a very peaceful documentary. I was going to pick a film, I don't know if you heard this, called Babette's Feast.
I have heard of it.
Very good. The food doesn't look appetizing. It's not supposed to, but it's a very...
About delicatessen.
Now, that's not an appetizing looking movie. So I was going to choose that. Let me see. I got to think of more. I had more. Brandon, you want to go?
Yeah, I had Julie and Julia for a food TV. Big deal.
Mike TV.
No,
My TV.
shut up. I had Ratatouille as well. Cloudy with the Chance of Meatballs 1 and 2.
The meatballs.
The meatballs, everything really.
All looks good.
The ice cream in the first movie.
Oh,
When it
when
snowed
it's
ice
snowing?
cream.
Oh, snowing.
That's
Ice.
that was my wet dream as a kid.
I got 2 food documentaries. I know we talked about one for vegan movies, Food Inc., and this other one,
Super Size Me.
No, Fast Food Nation.
Oh, the McDonald's.
Rock and Roll McDonald's.
Rock and roll McDonald's.
And Fast Food Nation,
Uh-huh.
Richard Linklater documentary about fast food, very good. And The Founder, and lastly, Harold and Kumar go to White Castle.
White Castle.
Okay, I got some more. I just remembered some more.
Okay.
Okay, the beignets from The Princess and the Frog.
That doesn't
At the beginning of the movie. Those are
The whole movie
the whole movie.
that
bro.
she makes those.
The
Yeah,
porridge
that's
from
right.
Mulan. Does anyone
The
else like that?
gumbo from Princess of the Frog.
Yeah.
The porridge
Um,
from Mulan.
Any of the foods from the Trip movies with Rob Brydon and Steve Coogan, all the food they eat there is good, and it's all about the meals. My Dinner with Andre, not necessarily about the food, but about
But the meal.
sharing a meal itself.
Yeah.
You know? That's a really good movie. And then this was literally on my list until Chris brought up a movie about just a specific food, and I changed mine to Ninja Turtles. I was gonna choose pig for
Oh.
one of the movies
And
because
you haven't
I
seen
think
it
I haven't seen that yet.
and that's why also because we already talked about it. Chris hasn't seen it yet, so it would have just been retreading ground. But I think that's a good movie about food and philosophy.
Oh,
You
yeah.
know?
I thought about pig.
Yeah, Sideways. If we want to go
Wine.
just wine, the wine looks good in that movie. And yeah, those are all my honorable mentions.
Good movies.
Good movies. All right, Brandon's leaving. Nope, just throwing away his Subway sandwich.
I have my food in the case of the whole
Look.
episode.
You did, and Chris and I, we didn't finish our pizzas
Would
because
you like mine?
what?
Do you want it? Do you
I
want
would
this?
like a piece.
No.
Take it. Like right now, or just take the whole thing. I'm done. I'm done anyway.
I'm trying this corn on pizza thing.
All right, let's get a live reaction before we end the episode of your corn on pizza. What do you think?
It's fine.
Does it taste like pizza with corn on it?
It does.
I like corn on the cob. I haven't had that in a while.
Corn on the pizza.
Corn on the pizza. I don't think there's anything better than a nice summer night with corn on the cob. I gotta be honest. Maybe like some steak. I don't know. Donuts. Oh, we'll get donuts later.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah. All right, that'll
do it.
That'll do it for our episode, everyone. Thanks so much for listening, and tell us what was the last food you ate in the comments, and tweet it at us too.
Let's shout out our fans.
Shout out our fans. Slim Nave. I just want you to know, like, we love you, man. We love you.
Like, thanks for tuning in, genuinely.
And we love hearing your picks in the comments too.
Yeah, genuinely. Like, we love reading your comments.
Yes.
For real.
And
shout out.
Your reviews on Letterboxd.
And Milo,
yes, your reviews on Letterboxd are good.
Yes. Milo always listens.
Your mom always listens?
I wouldn't say always. She's catching up right now. Caroline mostly listens. She's catching up right now too.
I listen.
You listen?
I listen from time to time. A little bit.
I mean,
you edit it.
I listen while I edit, and then I'm sick and tired of it, so I never listen again.
Maybe that's how our fans do.
Maybe, honestly.
All right, and that'll do it for this episode, everybody. Thanks so much for listening. Bye.
Bye.
Bye. Wine time.
Wine time.